Welcome all to the student question time, hosted at Westgarth, as you know. I just want to make a few things clear before we start.
Student question time, a chance for Teesside students to give their views to a panel of young politicians. At the top of the agenda came a controversial issue for students: free education.
Investing in education is an investment in the future. If you give everyone the chance to free education, then there might be someone down the road who can't go to university at the moment that gets to go, and in their head is a cure for cancer. We need to abolish tuition fees and have free education, and the Tories' policy of a lifetime of student debt is actually going to make the country worse off, but also is really hitting the living standards of students very hard.
Both main and minor parties were on the panel, next arguing out the future of tuition fees, with heated debate between Labour and UKIP.
We're really trying to encourage young people not so much to think about going to university all the time, but to consider taking on apprenticeships and real skilled training, because we do have a shortage of skilled workers in this country and there just isn't enough training available.
I'd like to say that graduating with £40,000 of debt is completely outrageous. If 50% of people now go to university, then why do we want to saddle half the population with £40,000 worth of debt? It's essentially writing off a generation, or at least writing off 50% of a generation, and that simply isn't fair at all.
Recovery is work.
All right, so we'll move on now. Does anyone have another question at the back, sir?
Other items from questions in the audience included the decline of the main parties. But Conservative Kevin Wilson said the government was still strong under a first-past-the-post system.
I don't think the three main parties are dead. I think they're doing an all right job. I mean, I think obviously as a Conservative, I think Labour are doing less of a good job than the Conservatives are in the 21st century. But yeah, no, they still exist. They're still around. It's good that we're getting challenges from other places. It's good that we're having to expand our voting base. The rise of other party choices like UKIP, like the Greens, like Syriza in Greece.
Things then got personal when Labour's front bench was attacked.
Their front bench, all over Oxbridge, they don't represent the people of Middlesbrough.
Labour has a plan to reduce debt. We have every single one of our proposals is costed to the penny. We have started from a zero base to ensure that all of our funding commitments are met to the penny, and none of these other parties can promise this.
So did the parties take on board the advice of their peers, especially with student fees?
Truthfully, I think that it's never something that I'm going to be entirely comfortable with, supporting fees. It's something that I have a lot of problem with personally. However, I think at the time the party probably did what it felt was best.
What I heard tonight didn't change my views on tuition fees, but I mean it is definitely something that the party does need to hear, and I think they really did hear that message quite loudly when 30 Millbank Tower was smashed in 2011. But I mean, I don't think there are any plans to raise tuition fees.
Of course, the night was all in good spirit and was the first of a national campaign by the Student Manifesto. So did they get a good response?
I wasn't really expecting this many people to come, but we had a great bunch of people in the audience, great questions, and a really good response from the panellists. I mean, there was quite a few little tiffles on by the panellists there, but it was really good, well controlled, really.
With less than 4 months until the election, it's now more apparent than ever that young people are playing their part. And this reporter hopes there'll be many more nights like this in the weeks to come. Jamie Crow, Teesside News.